Greetings, lads. It is March of 2022 here inside of the clown world, and I am bringing you guys this original Chucky 2009 video from, I'm pretty sure this was filmed in early 2013. It might have been 2012, but I'm pretty sure it was 2013. Anyway, this is one of the first shill vids that I ever made back in my mom's garage. We got the lawnmower and stuff in the background there. These were the good old days. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a 9-year update on this saw, and I can throw in some bonus facts now that I've retired from my career as an internet shill. Now, first off, I'm pretty sure Milwaukee's first ever YouTube shill. The way it happened is I bought an angle grinder, one of their angle grinders, and I really liked it. I made a YouTube video about it because especially back in those days, I made videos about everything. And one of the Milwaukee engineers actually found the video that the best years for being an internet shill were a little after that, like 2016, 2017, because beyond that point, everybody was shilling everything. And prior to that point, you know, like I was talking about, they didn't really have, I was basically their first shill. I filmed this second-rate YouTube video here in my mom's garage, and yeah, so the saw itself has been flawless. It has been excellent. I haven't had one single problem with it. I actually just went outside to my shop like 5-10 minutes ago and took a couple more pictures for you guys. As you can see, this thing has had some miles on it. All right, now like I said, this was about 2013. I used it here and there. Around 2016, I started doing a lot of mobile commercial welding, and that is really where this thing has excelled for me. I've put the miles on it. I used to use it for all kinds of jobs. I remember around the summer of 2017, I was doing this job that involved a lot of ornamental, like fence work stuff, which was really outside the type of usually commercial industrial machinery that I prefer to work on. But, you know, there's money to be made there, so I did it, and I was running this thing for hours a day at that point sometimes. It's held up flawlessly. It really has. Now, I will tell you, one nice thing that Milwaukee did is they give you this rubberized overmolding, and that's the thing. Like I've seen on some portable bandsaws, it looks like a cheap, flimsy plastic, but that black rubber overmolding stuff is tough as nails. The Milwaukee guys told me this was some new composite thing that they had right about the time that I made this video back in 2013. And they told me to be rough with it. They're like, yeah, you know, throw this thing off the table. I mean, we designed it to sustain some abuse out there in the field so it'll last our customers really well. So that's what I did. I'm like flopping it off the table. Everybody complained about that in the comments of the original video. So after that, I don't think we did much with the job site armor. I think they called it on this channel. But yeah, it has served its purpose. It's protected the saw really, really well. It's just plain and simple worked great. Now, mainly what I use this for is cutting on larger sections of material, like think square tube and things like that, where there's not the infrastructure available to actually pick that up and set it in a bandsaw, which also probably isn't available, or at least in like a metal cutting chop saw, like my dry cut 14-inch saw. It's really good for jobs like that. Some people can cut amazingly precisely with these saws. I'm not one of them. What I'll do in situations like that is aim a little bit for the scrap side of the line and then clean it up with an angle grinder, and it works just fine. That's the main thing I've used it for, is like I said, just stuff you can't really get to a proper chop saw. But yeah, you know, it's been great. Like I said, most of my use for it's been in the field. I don't use it all that often now, especially around the shop, but I haven't had any problems with it. Yeah, like I said, full disclosure, Milwaukee sent it to me for me to make a second-rate video in my mom's garage with. And so yeah, obviously nobody's paying me to make this video. They don't even know that I'm making it. I just found it on the hard drive here, and I figured I'd give you guys a 9-year review on this saw. It has been great, and I love this thing. I highly recommend it. Yeah, like I said, if you're in the market for one of these saws, I think you'll really like it. I've only used it handheld. Now, I don't know if you can get them for this exact model, but you can get these kits that turn a portable bandsaw like this into like a stationary one, so you can cut stuff with it. Honestly, I've never been big on those. Some people have them and really like them. That's great, but my mentality with that is these things are pretty expensive, and for that much money, and then plus you buy the kit, and then you dick with putting it together and everything. If you're going to do all that, you might as well just, you know, wait a little while, keep an eye on whatever online classifieds are around you, and try to pick up, you know, just a small bandsaw off of there or whatever, and then you just have a dedicated machine and a portable one. But like I said, that's just my 2 cents. And I've been very happy with this thing. It hasn't given me a single problem. That's really, I guess, all there is to say. It's just been great. And, you know, Milwaukee stuff, it's kind of funny. I remember around the time I made this original video in 2013, there was a bunch of, I guess, haters, you could say, for Milwaukee stuff. And I started chilling for them. People were like, it's not as good as it used to be. It's not going to last as long. It's not like the old, you know. I still have pretty much everything I've shilled from them, and basically all of it's been flawless. There's one angle grinder that I destroyed by being an idiot, and then I think there's like one other saw other than this one that had some intermittent issue, and that, you know, and they replaced it, and the replacement was fine. So yeah, you know, these things aren't cheap. I've been pricing them out here. I'm surprised you can actually buy this exact model, but whatever the case, that's just the update. 9 years in, it works like we just took it out of the box. I'll try to minimize some of the rambling in the original review. I don't know why I talked so much back then, guys. I don't know, but I'll try and put this together for you guys. I'll show it off what it can do. Thank you for watching over all these years, and Milwaukee, thank you for making an awesome product. And like I said, like 5 times now, mine's been flawless, and I love these little bandsaws. Best wishes, friends. Yes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. I'm Chucky2009, and today we're going to be unboxing the Milwaukee Electric 6232-21 deep cut bandsaw with case. Now, I've done a couple videos like this, so you know, y'all see this box sitting here and a bunch of random scrap metal sitting over there, so you can probably tell where this is headed. And on that note, let's slice into this beautiful thing and see what exactly we have to work with. Alright, let's see what we have here. Milwaukee deep cut variable speed bandsaw kit with an 11 amp motor and a 5-year warranty. Alright, now let's see, let's turn this thing around back and see what we got to work with. We got the 11 amp motor, more on that later. Job site armor technology. Alright, from what I understand, this is that cushiony, plasticky stuff that's a proprietary composition. It's not just like regular cheap plastic, and you can drop it on the ground, and it's basically made for that. Alright, large 5-inch cut capacity, lightweight, tool-free, locking, adjustable shoe. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to have fun finding out. Let's see, clear line of sight, variable speed dial and trigger, LED light, and debris protection system. Okay, well, let's keep on moving here, YouTube. This is a nice box, but we're going to slice it up anyway. Look at that, it even comes apart relatively easily. Okay. Oh, that is gorgeous. Another hard plastic case with steel strappy things. And a carry handle. Alright, actually I'm going to lay this down before I open it. Let's see what we got here, YouTube. Oh, that is nice. Alright, yeah, we got our owner's manual right here, and I think I'm going to go ahead and thumb through this because I've actually never used one of these. I've been around them while they're being used, but I've never actually used one. So this is going to be interesting. And what could go wrong? So the manual, even though this is usually something that I overlook, this actually appears to be a pretty nice manual, generally useful, and using one of these portable bandsaws doesn't really look like it's going to be rocket surgery. So let's fish this thing out, and I guess we'll throw a blade on it. I got these 14 TPI blades that I picked up earlier, obviously for use in this video, and so let's do it. Alright, YouTube. Just give this a nice unboxing. Oh, today's not the day. Dropping stuff everywhere. Oh, I'll just get this. Oops. Oh, man. Oh, yep. Alright. Well, job site armor. let's have a look at this thing and see if I successfully broke it before I got to use it. Oh, this poor tool has no idea what it's in for. Alright, so we picked up a little bit of dirt. Some very, very minimal scuffing on this composite plastic substance. And there's not a blade on it, as you can see, so we're going to have to go ahead and install one. Yeah, a little bit of scuffing. But hey, it seems to have taken it pretty well. Alright, let's figure out how these here blades go on. Okay, YouTube. Turn the tension lock handle located on the front of the saw 180 degrees counterclockwise. Alright. Remove the blades from pulley. Alright, there is no blade. To install a new blade with the pulleys facing up, okay. Insert the blade between the rollers and faces of the guides, making sure the teeth. Alright, well that was pretty painless, not only for me but also for the saw, which is a first for this video. I guess we'll pretty much just flip her back over and plug it in. Oh wait, hang on. I gotta tighten down the doohickey here. Okay, now let's plug it in and try it out. I think it goes like this, YouTube. Okay, well that was a little bit hard to push through there all the way because, you know, it's a large piece of flat stock. I'm going to find something a little bit different, come to think of it. But one of my first impressions, it's very smooth and it does have a little bit of a learning curve, but I honestly think it's mostly what I'm trying to cut with it. But otherwise, awesome. Alright, I'm going to try this on some round stock. 1 inch thick, solid, obviously. A lot better, YouTube. You pretty much just lay this thing on there and it does the cutting for you. You don't got to push down on it or nothing. Alright. Well, I'm going to do that again. Oh, that is awesome, YouTube. Let's see how cool this thing is, or isn't. Hardly anything more than room temperature. Yeah, that is not bad at all. Let's see what kind of a burr we have here. Not very much of one. It's a little bit rough on the inside, but hey, that's nothing to complain about. Not bad. It seems to have survived my abuse rather well. And we're just chugging along on this square tubing here. It looks to be about, I don't know, about a 3/16 inch wall thickness. And so now that I'm feeling pretty confident with this nice little saw, I think what I'm going to do next is try some thicker material, because this saw, well, it does have a nice beastly 11 amp motor. It also has something referred to as constant power technology, which basically means if you really got to working hard on something and you just lean into it, well, the motor compensates for that. It kicks it up a notch and puts out a little bit more power. It's kind of like cruise control in a car, so to speak. So yeah, let's try something a little bit more heavy duty. Amps is apparently a lot of power. Ooh, yeah. I think it's new blade time in a related story. Well, YouTube, I was laying into that thing with all I had, and it was slowing down, but only a tiny little bit. And the moment that I let up a little bit, it just shot right back up to its full speed. And we're missing about half the height of our teeth now. That's a little bit better, but you know, I guess to be fair, it was kind of cranking down on before. Alright, well, that's I don't know, 3.5 inch square tube. Let's try on some angle. Now, as you can see, I've gone ahead and dimmed the lights in here, and that's because we're going to try out the LED on this fine bandsaw. Now, at first I thought I might have broken that when I dropped it multiple times, but after I figured out that it wasn't one of those, you know, constantly on deals, I consulted the handy-dandy owner's manual. That's when I found out that the switch is just above the trigger, and it still works. A little bit awkward with gloves, but yeah. LED is fully functional. Let's try it out. I like it. Alright, YouTube, now for some square tube. This is what appears to be about 3 inch by 1.5 inch or so. Relatively thin wall stuff, only about 1/8 inch wall. And so here we go. Well, YouTube, this should be rather epic. This is some kind of pipe or round tube, just under a 1/4 inch wall thickness, appears to be about 3/16, and it is 4 3/4 inches across. So alright, this thing is supposed to have a 5-inch cutting capacity, so let's see how it does with 4 3/4. Did it with room to spare. How about that, you two? Now, one thing I'll add in is I really should have clamped this down better. As you can see, it's moving around a little bit, and I do not like that. YouTube. So there you go, YouTube. Even cutting something that's 4 3/4 inches across, we have a nice, smooth looking overall cut. You know, you can see little saw marks here and there, but it's not jagged or anything. And is there a burr? Yeah, there's a little something hanging off the inside of there, but it's really nothing to complain about. And as you can see, still cool to the touch, even after I made 3 cuts on this. Alright, well, I guess that, you know, since 4 3/4 fits so easily into the saw, we need to try something that's a full 5 inches. Now, unfortunately, the only thing that I have around here that is a full 5 inches is this piece of 1 1/4 inch plate. Here's the old tape measure test. So, yeah, I'm pretty much just going to go for it. And, you know, the saw was making a little bit of noise, and I think some oil would really help. So I'm going to give it a little bit of oil on this cut, just because. I'm sorry in advance, poor unsuspecting saw. Alright, well, the plate fits in there, YouTube. Would appear as though we threw a blade. Yep, that's what that would look like. Well, that's a problem. I guess I'll just stick her back together and we'll do it again. Check it out, yeehaw! Alright, well, it's only moderately warm. Still totally cool. Well, I don't know, there's a little bit of warmth there. Nothing major though. What kind of burr do we have? Not much of one. Okay, well, we've officially made it through our plate. Well, there you go, YouTube. We definitely made it through that 1 1/4 inch plate. Not all that quickly, but nonetheless we did get through it. I have a feeling that even though it's 5 inches across, this thing was probably never meant to cut, you know, 1 1/4 inch plate. But regardless, we got her done, and now I guess it's time to wind down the video. I mean, I cut pretty much everything I could think to cut. We got solid round stock, square tube, rectangular tube, circular tube, 1 1/4 inch heavy plate. Yeah, I guess that about sums it up. Now, you know, I've had an absolute blast getting to play with this saw. Like I said, I'd never used one before tonight, but I was pleasantly surprised to find out that the learning curve with these is very minimal. I mean, I did go through the first blade pretty quickly, and I've been thinking about that, but you know, these seem like pretty nice blades. They're Milwaukee brand. They're not some generic crap. They're made in the USA, so, you know, it probably really wasn't the blade. And plus, I did kind of beat the tar out of it trying to bog the saw down. Well, I don't know. When you think of it that way, maybe it's not so surprising that that blade went so fast. But we did most of this cutting with the second blade, including the plate, of course. And as you can see, the second blade looks pretty much new. I mean, the teeth are all still there. We don't seem to be missing any. They don't seem that worn down, or worn down really at all. The second blade seems to be holding up surprisingly well. And so, you know, that seems to be one of the things I like about the saw. Now, one of the things I don't like about the saw, on a very similar note, is the fact that these things apparently don't like oil. But on the plus side, it's very easy to put blades back on once they pop off, and it's easy to install them in the first place. Pretty much you just flip the lever, then flip the whole saw over, and just push it on there. I mean, it's really not rocket surgery, and I am pleased with how easily I picked up on using this thing. Now, about the features on the saw and the construction of the saw. Well, actually, let's start with the construction of the saw. It's very well made. It has Milwaukee's usual very high level of fit and finish. We got this nice aluminum housing. We got this durable hard plastic up here, and this proprietary softer plastic here that'll take a lot of abuse, as we found out. You know, they told me I could drop it and it wouldn't hurt it, but that was still heart-wrenching to actually do. You know, we got the variable speed. As y'all saw, I honestly didn't even play with this because, well, I'm still trying to figure out how to use the saw on one speed, but we got that. We got the LED. This switch takes a little bit of getting used to. I thought it would just be a push down and push up thing, but actually it's like a rocker switch. But once you got that down, it's not that hard. And yeah, I'm very pleased with the saw. You know, blade seems to be holding up pretty well. Got a lot of nice features. It's well balanced, not a lot of learning curve, and it comes with everything you need, including this nice hard plastic case. You know, I've said it before, these cases look like something you put a chainsaw in, but you know, they're genuinely nice cases. What don't I like about it? Honestly, not all that much. I mean, I wish that you could oil the blades, because that would make it, you know, cut smoother, and the blades would probably last a little bit longer and run quieter. But that seems to be my only complaint, and that's not, from what I can gather, you know, that's probably not something just with this saw. It's probably a portable bandsaw thing in general. It's very portable, lives up to its name, and it's a bandsaw, definitely lives up to its name. So, alright YouTube, I hope you all have had as much fun watching this video as I've had making it. And a big thank you to our friends over at Milwaukee Electric. And as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more. I'm sure this is going to be in plenty of videos to come. Yeehaw.